Inside this American factory, billions of dollars are printed every day. These printing machines produce banknotes almost automatically. This is where your inflation actually begins. And this is Bureau of Engraving and Printing in Fort Worth. This is where over 50% of the US national currency is made. And on average, more than $15 million worth of banknotes are produced here every single day. So, from the start of the paper production to the final ready-to-circulate US dollar bill, the process typically takes about 8 days. As you can see right now, the whole production process starts with the design of the new banknotes. Experts in design, security, and history are consulted. This phase can take 1 to 2 years as ideas are generated, explored, and reviewed. The design process starts with initial sketches of the front and back of the bill. These sketches evolve into detailed, full-color drafts. The designs are reviewed, revised, and tweaked multiple times before they're finalized. This can take up to 3 years depending on the complexity of the design and security updates. Now it's time to prepare the banknote paper. US banknotes are made from a unique blend of 75% cotton and 25% linen, giving them a fabric-like feel. This is what makes them durable and difficult to tear. In parallel with the design, engineers and security experts are working on the incorporation of advanced security features like microprinting, security threads, watermarks, and holograms. Holographic images are created using a process called microreplication. This process involves a special type of film that is imprinted with a holographic pattern. The hologram is then transferred to a foil strip. For US currency, this hologram is not simply printed but instead applied using a special coating or a foil-based material that gives it its shiny, reflective, and interactive properties. Now comes the production phase called intaglio printing. This printing technique is crucial for both the aesthetic quality and security of the banknote, as it makes the bills difficult to counterfeit. The designs are engraved into steel plates. An engraver uses a sharp tool or specialized machine to etch the design into the surface of the plate. The engraving process is incredibly precise and detailed, allowing for fine lines, text, and images with remarkable clarity. The engraving process is done in reverse, so when ink is applied to the plate, it will be printed correctly onto the bill. Each bill is inspected for errors, such as smudging, ink misalignment, or missing security features. Counterfeit bills can be detected easily due to imperfections in the intaglio printing process, making it a crucial security feature for US paper money. Each plate can have only a single color at a time, so multiple plates are used for different colors of ink. The painting of US paper money is a term that could be used to describe the printing process, which involves multiple techniques and color layers. The US dollar is not hand-painted, but rather is printed using a combination of traditional methods and modern technology. Employees in this government agency are required to follow strict safety precautions. Over 60% of US dollars are held outside the US, making the dollar one of the most widely used currencies in the world. Each US bill has a unique serial number, which helps identify it. The serial number has 8 digits, and the 2-letter prefix corresponds to the Federal Reserve District that issued the bill. After paper production comes the printing process, followed by cutting and sorting, and the last part of the production process is packaging and distribution among the federal banks. After drying, the long sheets of paper are cut into smaller sheets that are the correct size for US banknotes. These sheets are then ready for the next stage of production, which is the printing process. Each sheet of paper is checked for quality and consistency. This includes inspecting the weight of the paper, texture, and security features. If any defects or inconsistencies are found, the sheets are discarded. The BEP can print about 8,000 sheets of US currency per day. Each sheet contains 32 bills, so that's roughly 250,000 bills a day. 1 ton of $100 bills is worth an estimated whopping $95 million. There are currently approximately 65 billion notes in volume circulating among people in the United States. The actual value of the banknotes in your pockets is determined by the total number of notes in circulation. In times of crisis, the Fed prints money to boost the economy. The currency is stored in high-security vaults that are designed to prevent unauthorized access. The vaults are equipped with multiple layers of physical security, including reinforced steel doors, advanced alarm systems, and 24/7 surveillance. Secure storage areas are monitored by state-of-the-art surveillance systems. Cameras are placed throughout the vaults, warehouses, and transportation routes to provide real-time monitoring of the currency's storage and handling. The team of people who produce American money is huge. Around 1,500 employees and contractors work at facilities in Washington and Fort Worth. Although about 40% of Americans are cashless in their weekly spending habits, more than $2 trillion of US currency is in circulation. Before bills are allowed to enter circulation, they undergo a rigorous inspection process. Using specialized cameras and software, the offline currency inspection system ensures that no defects or errors have occurred during production. Bills that do not pass this inspection are discarded, ensuring only perfectly produced currency reaches the public. Dunbar Armored is one of the companies that provides armored transport services for US currency and other valuables, including US dollar paper money. The production process of European euro banknotes differs in many ways from that of US banknotes. The whole production process starts with the paper, which is in some respects better than in the United States. Euro notes are made from a special cotton fiber material which gives them a distinct feel and makes them more durable. These notes are more resistant to wear and tear than traditional paper-based notes. Euro banknotes are generally more durable and long-lasting compared to US dollar bills, which are more prone to wear and tear over time. The European Central Bank is responsible for overseeing the production and issuance of euro banknotes, including the 200 euro note. The 200 euro banknote is printed using a combination of intaglio printing, offset printing, and letterpress. A security thread embedded in the note runs vertically through the paper and can be seen when the note is held up to the light. This thread has the 200 euro denomination printed on it. The production of 200 euro notes varies depending on demand, but millions of these bills are printed and distributed annually to meet the needs of Eurozone countries. Euro banknotes feature multiple advanced security features, such as a hologram with a portrait of Europa, watermarks, microprinting, raised print, and a security thread. The use of a security thread visible in the light and a unique design embedded in the paper makes them harder to counterfeit. Euro banknotes generally have more advanced and varied security features designed to prevent counterfeiting, making them harder to replicate than US dollar notes. The ECB monitors the production and distribution of notes to prevent any fraudulent activity. With over 25 billion euro banknotes in circulation as of 2025, totaling several trillion euros in value. Some denominations, such as the 100 euro and 200 euro bills, feature a hologram of the euro symbol and denomination number that shifts in color and appearance when tilted. Around 1 trillion euros worth of euro banknotes is in circulation outside the eurozone, primarily in countries that use the euro as their de facto currency. Euro banknotes are printed in several countries across Europe, including Germany, France, and Austria. Each country has its own national security printing facility, but they all follow the strict guidelines set by the European Central Bank. Printing is done at highly secure facilities to ensure that counterfeit bills are not produced. The ECB monitors the production and distribution of notes to prevent any fraudulent activity. While the banknotes represent the cultural and architectural heritage of Europe, Euro coins feature different national designs on one side to reflect the individual cultures of Eurozone countries. The U.S. Mint is the primary agency responsible for producing coinage for the United States. Established in 1792, it operates several minting facilities across the country, including in Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, and West Point. These facilities produce coins, medals, and congressional gold, silver, and platinum coins. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins each year to meet the demand for circulation, the needs of coin collectors, and to replace worn out or damaged coins. For example, in 2024, the Mint produced over 13 billion coins, including pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and dollar coins. Surprisingly, it costs more to make a penny than it's worth. The cost to produce a penny is roughly 1.7 cents due to the rising cost of materials and labor. Similarly, the nickel costs around 7.4 cents to produce. This is a matter of ongoing debate in the US about whether these coins should continue to be made. The US Mint uses high-speed coin presses that can strike up to 750 coins per minute. In a single shift, a minting press can produce up to 5 million coins. The US Mint also uses laser technology to help engrave intricate designs onto the dies with exceptional precision. The penny has been in continuous production since 1793, making it one of the oldest coins in US history. The designs have changed many times over the years, with famous designs like the Lincoln Memorial and the shield design that we see today. Old and worn-out coins are regularly collected and sent back to the US Mint to be recycled. The metal from old coins is melted down and reused to produce new coins. This process helps the mint save on materials and reduce costs.
In today's video, I will show you how the production and printing of US dollar bills is done. I will also mention what security features the notes have, and whether they can be counterfeited. There are 6 main security features used in the production of US dollars, so you can't print them yourself at home. These security features are serial numbers, color-changing ink, microprinting, intaglio printing, 3D ribbons, and watermarks. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing produces 38 million notes a day with a face value of approximately $540 million. The whole production process starts here. These are bales of cotton which are then used to make US banknotes. US currency paper is composed of 25% linen and 75% cotton. In the fight against counterfeiting, there are 65 steps in the banknote production process. The more complicated, the harder to counterfeit. The average salary for employees in this factory is around $37 per hour, depending on their experience. Before printing gets underway, the design has to be etched onto soft steel plates in a process called intaglio. Before printing banknotes, the printing template is thoroughly checked. Federal Reserve estimates that the total amount of currency in circulation is approximately 2 trillion US dollars. Before printing begins, the ink in the printing machine must be properly prepared and mixed. At the same time as the ink is being prepared, the patterns are checked. Quality control is an absolutely vital part of production. All employees in U.S. factories where U.S. banknotes are printed must meet strict security clearances. The average lifespan of a $100 note in circulation is 23 years before it is replaced due to wear and tear. The production line is almost completely automated. Employees only keep it running and replenish paper and ink. The banknotes are first printed on a roll of paper, then cut into a paper sheet where more banknotes are joined together. The most widely used is the $100 note. Approximately 60% of the $100 bills are found outside the United States. The money supply and inflation are related. To combat unemployment, the Federal Reserve increases the money supply, promotes economic growth, and makes debt cheaper. However, these policies have the potential to cause inflation. After printing both sides of the paper sheet, the papers are moved along the sliding belts to the next part, cutting the banknotes. The production machines continuously move the banknotes between each printing section, step by step from start to finish. The production of a single sheet of banknotes takes several days and uses a number of printing machines and printing techniques. Now let's take a closer look at the printing of the watermark and other security features of U.S. banknotes. These belt feeders are capable of processing hundreds of banknotes per second, 24 hours a day. These notes have watermarks that can only be detected by passing light through the note. Microprinting allows for verifiable images that cannot be scanned by photocopiers or seen by the naked eye. The $100 bill has phrases like USA 100 written invisibly in multiple places. This pallet full of sheets of paper will soon turn into millions of US dollars. Printing a $1 bill costs 5 cents, while printing a $100 bill costs around 15 cents. The paper is made specifically for the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. It is illegal for anyone other than BEP to possess this paper. The finished notes are now boxed and stored in a vault at this plant, before being distributed to banks throughout the United States. This part of the factory currently holds between $50 and $100 million, which is now being boxed up. In a newer part of the factory, the packing of money into boxes is automated by robotic arms. The team of people who produce American money is huge. Around 1,500 employees and contractors work at facilities in Washington and Fort Worth. Although about 40% of Americans are cashless in their weekly spending habits, more than $2 trillion of U.S. currency is in circulation. After being loaded into these giant boxes, the banknotes are transported to the vaults. This is where inflation begins. Euro paper notes are printed inside this money factory. €50 banknote is the most widely used banknote in the euro area. There are 8 billion €50 notes in circulation. That's almost half of all euro cash in circulation. It costs between 6 and 10 cents to produce a banknote. This is the total costs of the ink, the paper, and the printing. Price varies depending on different sizes and safety features. In case of accidental damage to the note, you can get a replacement at the bank. The packing of euro banknotes into boxes is always automated using these manipulator arms. There are more than 30 billion euro banknotes in circulation, with a total value of more than 1.7 trillion euros. Of course, the color composition of the ink used on the banknotes is kept secret to ensure security against counterfeiting. Twelve high-security banknote printers across Europe are currently accredited by the ECB, European Central Bank, to produce euro banknotes. In quality control, the worker now checks the thickness and quality of the ink applied. The 100 euro notes are made of pure cotton fiber, which improves their durability as well as giving the banknotes a distinctive feel. This European money printer runs almost continuously, stopping only for service interventions.